Brandon Webb is the journalist reporting on this story. He's a former U.S. Navy SEAL and the editor-in-chief of SOFREP.com, which covers news for the special operations community. Brandon, now we just heard from the State Department a short time ago. On the record, it is saying that these reports of a new job for Ms. Lamb are not true. They say she is undergoing training, which you report, but they wouldn't say more than that. What's your information?
Yeah. Well, she's undergoing a regional security officer training, so it's really, the State Department trying to dodge a bullet, and it's really, this new post is really characterized as a reward. Everyone in the Department of State says she's being rewarded for essentially towing the administration's line, and it really sets a bad precedent. I mean, the guys and I that have covered the story on SOFREP.com, we realize that bad things happen in the world. The problem is what happens afterwards. If we don't learn from the mistakes and hold these people accountable, like Charlene Lamb and Patrick Kennedy, who's the Undersecretary of Management at State, then what kind of example are we setting for other people? I mean, this clearly sets a precedent that you can cooperate with the administration, toe the party line, kill people, and then be rewarded. It's unsad.
Well, not kill people, but deny them the security that left them in a position to be killed. That's undisputed. Yeah. And Ms. Lamb is at the heart of it. I just want the viewers to know. Ms. Lamb was cited by the review board that looked into this for the State Department, and she was singled out as somebody who really dropped the ball here in terms of securing that facility and ignoring the repeated begging from those who were over there for more security, correct?
Yeah, and we're talking in March of 2012, her office refused the request for 5 additional diplomatic security personnel. So we're not talking a huge amount of personnel and resources here. 5 people that could have made the difference. And you're right. I mean, she wasn't directly responsible, but definitely has blood on her hands as far as I'm concerned. And I lost my best friend in Benghazi, Glenn Doherty. And I'm sitting back looking at the situation where we're not learning from our mistakes. And Benghazi is important because it really highlights the administration's foreign policy failures. And you look at what's happening in Afghanistan, in Syria, and elsewhere in the Middle East, it's a complete disaster. And it really, Benghazi is really everything that's wrong with our foreign policy,
but let me ask
everything that's wrong in Washington with not holding people accountable.
She was placed on administrative leave, and now she's back. Okay, so there was no real punishment for Ms. Lamb. She basically got a vacation for a little while. Now she's back on the job, and the question is, what job is she on? Your reporting is that she was the Deputy Assistant Secretary for Diplomatic Security, and you say she has been, quote, promoted to Regional Security Officer with a report, unconfirmed, you say that she might be going to Canada. Now, first of all, I know the State Department is denying this tonight, but is that in fact a promotion? If that is true, despite their denials, is that in fact a promotion?
It's actually better characterized as a reward. It's technically not a promotion, and we should have been more clear on that in the first part of the story that we broke. But it's really should be characterized as a reward. So here's a person that...
Well, but let me just jump in because I have a short time left, because there's also a question about Ms. Lamb and the access that we're going to have to her, because if she's going to Canada, then she's outside of the United States, and there's a question about access in terms of subpoenas. The Senate Intel Committee accused her of being unreceptive to repeated requests regarding security and so on, and said that they were disappointed that she has refused to explain to the committee why certain decisions were made about enhanced security. My next question, I got to make this the last one, is what do you make of this? And the State Department seems to be outright denying this. How sure are you of your reporting?
Well, we've covered Benghazi from the very beginning, and we wrote a New York Times bestseller on Benghazi, and really were the first ones to get the true story. So the sources that we have within the CIA and the State Department are very solid. I mean, these are trusted relationships. The one thing that makes our site different is our writers are all from the Special Operations and Intel community, and we have those relationships. So, time will tell, but she definitely is in that regional security officer training, and we'll see what happens with her.
It's unbelievable. If it's true, it's unbelievable, because she'd be continuing in a job where she's meant to assure the security and train others in security, the very thing she was accused by the bipartisan committee of having completely blown. Brandon, thank you for being here.